After the Philadelphia 76ers dropped their ninth straight game Wednesday night to the New York Knicks 110-105 at MSG, Paul George expounded on his recent decision to stop podcasting, saying it was about putting his full focus into trying to get this team together. Paul George said it was more so just to focus on here, who had 25 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in 42 minutes against the New York Knicks, a game that saw Philly rally from 19 down to take a late lead, but they did fall short. He said, I haven't been the healthiest, so it's just been putting a ton of work towards getting my body as healthy as possible. He also added, and to keep focus on obviously being here and trying to turn things around and to full focus on trying to get this team together. So Paul George is having a disastrous season, 16 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but he's shooting just 43% from the floor and 36 from the three-point line. So he's putting down the podcast, but it may be too little too late for the Philadelphia 76ers.
I mean, I really like this. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. Think about the team of the Philadelphia 76ers and what exactly they did in the offseason. They went outside and Paul George. They have Joel Embiid on the roster. Tyrese Maxey is another young stud on this team. And they had a whole bunch of young pieces. In the offseason, they were the first team to go out and sign a bunch of players. And you thought the Philadelphia 76ers are for real. Well, right now, they're sorely underperforming. Like, they have missed a lot of guys due to injury, missed a lot of games due to injuries. And Joel Embiid right now is really struggling. In the middle of that, you got the Philadelphia 76ers fans. Do you know how tough it is to play over there? They boo their own team over there when they're not performing well. So you can't be in the middle of all that and your team struggling, being on a podcast. So right now, I like the fact that he's going to focus, making sure he gets his body right, gets his health right, because that team really need a restructuring.
Well, the Sixers 20-38 right now. A game behind the Brooklyn Nets for 11th place in the Eastern Conference, but they still have life for the box.
Really?
2 games in the loss column behind the Chicago Bulls.
Well, they're in 12th place. They're 20-38, so I guess it's a good thing to refocus on basketball. That'd be a good thing, I guess. I guess I'm excited about it.
I mean,
I've never seen his podcast, so I'm not excited.
Well, I thought you subscribed to it, Willie.
No, I don't.
Podcast P.
So I'm not going to miss it either way, but I do know they're 20-38. I do know Philadelphia fans have booed Santa Claus and Mike Schmidt, so you might want to bring your A game, especially the home games, moving forward. I guess the process continues. I mean, let's go. What are we doing here?
I am all for player empowerment, but I think in these moments, you got to keep the main thing the main thing.
Really?
Basketball's what we're here for.
Really?
After 58 games, after a 9-game losing streak, let's decide to put it on the podcast.
What an incredible thought that would be.
Oh, man, after signing the max deal, too. Oh, man, let's talk about the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, let's move on, man. Come on,
dude. By the way, he's making $48 million.
Really?
This season. The Pistons, they won their 8th straight game last night against the Boston Celtics.
This is a great story.
Tie game at the half. They come out in the third quarter, just blow away the Celtics. Now, no Jaylen Brown for Boston, but still impressive. Cade Cunningham is going to make an All-NBA team. They're tied with the Cleveland Cavaliers for the longest active streak in the NBA. And the Warriors will see the Pistons March 8th at Chase Center. So that's going to be a really good game. Bickerstaff has them playing well, Mully.
One of the great stories. J.B. Bickerstaff is doing a great job with the young team, but Cade Cunningham is a superstar. Mm-hmm. I watched him in high school, and the first time I watched him, I felt like I was watching Jason Kidd with a jump shot. And now that I'm watching him, you said about he's going to be an All-NBA player. He was an All-Star this year. I'm kind of watching Grant Hill combined with Jason Kidd. I mean, this guy is nasty. He knocks down the three. He makes everyone around him better. He shouldered that burden because they were struggling when he got there. And now they're on an 8-game win streak. They're going to be a playoff team. Congratulations to him and the Pistons.
You know what struggling looks like? Struggling is they have not won more than 23 games in the last 5 seasons. So this is a big deal for Detroit. They're doing a great job. The young talent, we talked about Amen Thompson with the Houston Rockets, but his twin is right here in Detroit. Both incredible athletes. Cade Cunningham is a maestro with the basketball, kind of like with Luka Doncic, those young stars that get everybody involved in the game while also being able to take over. This team is one to be reckoned with. Don't forget about the big man either now.
Oh, yeah.
Big man.
Durant and Isaiah Stew. Beef Stew.
Beef Stew.
Beef Stew. And then, Malik Beasley's hitting the 3 off the bench as well. He's having a spectacular season.
Six-man
Tim Hardaway Jr., too. He's starting to front run into shape as well as we take a look at the East standings. Orlando. They made the playoffs last year and gave Cleveland everything they can handle. They've had a lot of injuries, and right now they're in 7th place in the Eastern Conference. Steve Kerr touched on Paulo Banchero, who he said was a tough choice to keep off of Team USA this past summer in Paris, France.
He was right in the mix till the last second for Paris. That's how strongly we felt about him in the Philippines during the World Cup. He's such a talented guy and versatile, and obviously, playing off of other superstars. You can imagine the force and impact of his athleticism, and so he was right in the mix. Ultimately, it just came down to kind of roster construction, what we needed. And so we ended up deciding more on guard play than front court. But he's great young guy. Really enjoyed coaching him, and amazingly talented.
All right, let's take a look at the Magic lineup for tonight against the Golden State Warriors. Cole Anthony will get the start. Jalen Suggs has missed 23 of the last 24 games for Orlando due to a back injury, and now he has a quad issue. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, their big free agent signing coming over from the Denver Nuggets. He's a champ. Franz Wagner, he's a baller. He's a triple threat. He'll play well. Wendell Carter Jr., he's struggling from the three-point line as well. Orlando have one of the worst offenses in the NBA, if not the worst offense, but it's all about Paolo Banchero, the rookie of the year. Of course, when he came out of Duke University, we got to see him right here in the Bay Area when Duke played in the NCAA tournament. Break his game down here because he's a budding superstar. He
is a budding superstar, but he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA, and he's a dynamic offensive player. Similar to Jimmy Butler, he likes to play inside the three-point line. He can get off the dribble. He loves attacking the basket. Important tonight, keep him off the free throw line. You're going to live with these contested twos. He will play in crowds. Help defense is going to be important, Fezzi.
Every time he wants to he's a big man with a lot of skill, but the big men always want to get close to the rim right here. Shooting 62% from the restricted paint right there. He's a load. You talked about not fouling him. He's going to try to get downhill. Big guy, strong, and he's going to be able to put the ball in the foul. You got to make sure you put your athletes on him.
He's an ISO player, so it's going to be important to have the weak side defense pulled over. Make sure you get legal and you're in help position. Communication by Draymond. Once again, you can get up on him, force him left to the corner fill, and then live with a contested two.
The goal is to make him shoot jumpers. Because when he gets out of the paint, the numbers drop significantly. Right here, Draymond Green doing a great job of baiting him to a jump shot. Right here, gets it off. If he hits those, you live with it.
Live with it. This team is 30th in scoring, so they're last in scoring. They struggle from the field. They're 30th. From the three, they're 29th. They're going to miss shots. You do not want to put them on the free throw line. Give them nothing easy, and this can be a nice workmanlike victory on the road.
What's going on with Paolo, though? Because he got off to a terrific start the first 6-7 games of the season.
Did he have 50?
He missed 34. He tore his oblique. He had a 50-burger. He's shooting 28% from the three-point line, just 40% from the field in his previous 21 games. So he hasn't been on track, and the Magic go as he goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you never know what players are dealing with injuries, and you're playing through stuff. And you say he just came back from an injury. So as a young player trying to get back into the game, get back in the rhythm with his team, the team is really struggling. They can't shoot right now. I think they're last in the league in three-point percentage. His numbers dropped significantly, 60s in the paint, 30s, long twos, and the three-point line, he's shooting at the 20% mark. So that's something that the Warriors can take advantage of tonight, because you make sure you play against him. Don't let him get downhill. Force him into contested jump shots, and do not foul when he drives down the paint.
The exact opposite of the Warriors. Jimmy Butler has come to the Warriors, which was the dominant three-point shooting team. He's added inside presence. The Orlando Magic are exclusively working inside the three-point line. There's no spacing. In turn, all their players shoot contested shots. That's what brings your percentage down.
But they do play defense, Fezzi Fell. Or do they play defense?
Did you say
the numbers prove it?
Well, they second in the league.
Look at points allowed there first.
You got them going to the finals?
I don't have I'm selling the Magic. Okay. Tell you that right there. They're not on my stock watch.
I thought defense wins championships, right?
Time out.
The second in block shots.
Yes, but their defense is forced because they force a lot of steals. But that's not necessarily great defense. That's just being able to be young and athletic and get out there in the passing lanes.
Okay.
Wow. Right? They held the Warriors to 4 points.
A little asterisk there.
The Warriors saw them earlier this season at Chase Center. That was February 3rd, where I thought, oh, maybe the Warriors do need to make a move. 104-99. Sorry to remind you about that basketball game. But there's a lot of bricks.
That was Warriors 2. We had Warriors 1 at 12-3. Warriors 2 at 14-23. This is Warriors 3.
Okay.
By far the best version, and no comparison to the other two.
That's right. I mean, appropriate fear is still important. When you're out on the road, you can't give the team easy baskets, taking care of the ball. All the things the Warriors have been good at, you got to bring it on the road and set the tone on the first game.
Well, you brought up Jimmy Butler. Guess what? We had the